in general, and we break it down where it says femininity is generally accepted as weakness. Um, First of all, I would say that's incorrect. Um, and in my opinion, what do you mean by femininity is generally accepted as weakness? Because a feminine woman to me is a woman who's great at taking care of kids, who's great at being a great wife, who's great at maybe being responsible and knowing what her man needs, knowing what her family needs. These are the feminine qualities, empathy and sympathy, generally that women have in taking care of a family. So to say that that is some type of weakness, who deems that as a weakness? Men don't. I don't. So maybe there's proclivity amongst women who are using highly aggressive behavior amongst each other to assert this type of connotation within each other, that femininity is generally weak because the aspects of femininity are not accepted as strong. That's something that women have between themselves. So that right there, men don't view that aspect when it comes to femininity. Now we're talking about first wave femininity. We're not talking about third wave. We're just talking about femininity as in the woman, not femininity as in the movement. So femininity generally accepted as weakness, that is incorrect. Men don't see femininity as a weakness. I don't ever hear conversations about where people just say overall women are just weak when they're feminine. That's just not true. If we continue, it'll say historically we've always assigned women traits, skills, and habits as being lesser than men's. Again, what traits, skills, and habits do you think are lesser than men's? Like, are women's traits, again, that I just named, are traits that us as men are not great at. The traits that women have are,
less aggressive, passionate, like intuitive. I mean, these things that also make women good in other fields, that maybe that you should be looking at the fields that these women dominate in and stop looking at it from a masculine. It's almost like you're comparing your statements, comparing it as if you are a man.
You're right. It's looked through the viewpoint of like, exactly like you're a man, like you're competing with us as just the traits that we have are the traits that you should have. But if that's the case, different. We're different, because if that's the case, your whole viewpoint on this is based on a misconception, because the traits that women have, I see, are exceptional because the traits they have are not habits that I want to have and or aren't good at. I mean, the ability that a woman can breastfeed, I can't do that. That's an ability, trait, or skill or habit that women have that men can't do. I don't see that as lesser. A child getting fed breast milk, for example, and getting nurtured by a woman, I don't see that as lesser. And any person who thinks that's lesser is ridiculous. I don't understand. Again, like you said, it appears that the framework in which you're viewing this statement is through the eyes of men. So we'll continue. Even in the new female empowerment movement, we're developing these feminine traits. Even in the new feminine empowerment movement we're developing, these feminine traits aren't widely accepted. So she's saying even with the radical feminine movement that is being espoused nowadays, feminine traits aren't widely being accepted. Okay, I will agree with that, but the new female empowerment movement isn't promoting feminine traits. It's promoting masculine traits. It's promoting that women need to be more like men, and that people need to accept it.
How about we look at it this way? Tell me where in what fields masculine traits would be accepted that would rather be feminine traits would be a better, you know what I'm saying, a better trait for a better trait that would be useful in a certain field that's more feminine trait dominant. You see what I'm saying? Like you're looking at it like when she says right here that the movement or development that feminine traits are not widely accepted. Well, not or to be fair, are feminine traits going to be accepted in any field or anywhere? Certain traits, masculine traits wouldn't be accepted in. Like when it comes down to childcare, when it maybe comes down to nursing.
Yeah.
A masculine trait that's very, you know, like very aggressive, assertive, a competitive might not be the best trait to be in a childcare facility.
Yes.
But your traits that are feminine are more accepted. So what are you talking about? We're now predicating that we're talking about, again, masculine areas that you want to be able to push feminine traits on that would just won't work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Because we could push that and flip it and say, well, masculine traits are not always accepted in every, you know, everywhere in society as well. You know, look what's already working. Look what's already working, but that's where the blind eye comes, in my opinion. I think some of the things that are already working for women, they have a blind eye to, and they focus on what men are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is just an incorrect perception based on some type of cognitive bias, cognitive distortion, or some type of incorrect perspective that women have in general that are causing them to have an incorrect supposition about how they view life.